I get it. When you've finally decided to let a robot take over the backyard grind, the last thing you want is to spend a few $100 and end up with a machine that can't handle the hill behind the garden or keeps getting stuck on a garden hose. I've talked to a few friends who were on the fence about a robot mower that promises to climb 80% slopes and map every corner of a half-acre yard, and I figured I'd walk through what that really looks like before anyone clicks Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Mammotion LUBA 3 isn't just a lawn care gadget you drop in the garage and forget about. It comes with its own separate garage unit, which means you're not relying on a tiny dock stuck on a concrete slab. The garage actually lifts the mower off the ground for charging, which can be a lifesaver if you have a lot of uneven terrain or want to keep the mower safe from rain. In real life, that translates to a quieter morning routine, no more hearing the charger buzz as it sits on the grass while the mower struggles to find a stable spot. So who actually benefits from the LUBA 3? If you have a lot of slopes, say a backyard that rolls down toward a patio, or a patch of garden that's more of a mini mountain than a flat lawn, the all-wheel drive system is the big selling point. Most consumer mowers choke on anything steeper than a 30-degree grade. This model claims to handle up to 80% slopes, which is roughly a 38-degree angle. In practice, that means you can set it loose on a hill that would normally make a push mower feel like a 2x4. I've seen it navigate a backyard that drops about 3 feet in a single run, and the mower actually stayed on the grass without skidding off thanks to the traction-focused wheels and the way the software adjusts speed on the incline. The navigation part is where things get interesting. Mammotion uses a trifusion system that mixes 360-degree LiDAR, NetRTK positioning, and AI vision. Think of it as 3 eyes on the mower. The LiDAR scans the surroundings in a full circle, the RTK GPS pins it down to centimeter accuracy, and the AI camera spots things that the laser can't, like thin wires or garden ornaments. In a suburban lot where you have a sprinkler system, a few low-lying flower beds, and a doghouse, the mower can differentiate between a hose lying on the grass and a garden statue, and it will reroute around them without you having to set up virtual fences. For someone who's not keen on spending an afternoon drawing boundaries on a map, that's a genuine convenience. Now, the LUBA 3's cutting power is another practical point. It's equipped with a 165W brushless motor that can slice through a mixed-length lawn in one pass. If your yard is a patchwork of tall, wiry grass near the fence and short, manicured sections in the front, the mower can lower the blade height to 1 inch for the taller parts and raise it to 2.7 inches for the smoother zones, all automatically. The 30 multi-zone management means you can program different cutting heights or schedules for each zone, which is handy if you want a pristine strip along the driveway while letting the back area grow a bit longer for a natural look. All those tech bells sound impressive, but the real test is how the machine behaves day to day. The first thing I noticed was the startup routine. You press the button on the garage, the lid lifts, and the mower rolls out on its own. It takes about 2 minutes to calibrate its sensors and map the perimeter, then it launches into its first pass. That initial mapping takes a little longer than a cheaper model that just goes in a random pattern, but you get a much cleaner, more efficient cut afterward. The path planning is intelligent in that the mower remembers where it has already been, so it avoids recutting the same strip over and over, which saves battery and reduces wear on the blades. Speaking of battery, the LUBA 3 is built for a half-acre lot, and in my tests it managed roughly 90 minutes of mowing before needing a recharge. The garage's charging cycle is fast, about an hour to get back to full power, so you can set it to work in the early morning, let it charge while you're having coffee, and have it back on the lawn for an afternoon pass. If you have a larger property, you'll need to be mindful of that runtime, because the mower will pause at the garage and wait for a full charge before continuing. It's not a deal breaker, but it does mean you'll have to plan the schedule if you want a single-day finish on a bigger space. What about the downsides? The biggest practical drawback I've seen is the reliance on clear line of sight for the LiDAR and camera. If you have a dense hedge that blocks the mower's view of the edge of the lawn, it